Hi guys, and welcome to Yvonne Magaya show. Oh my goodness, you guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for 500 subscribers. Now we're heading to 1,000 subscribers. Please, if you haven't subscribed, finya po subscription button, like and share this video. So today I have a guest by the name FRIDA. And FRIDA, today I want to talk about the difference between Kenya and the difference and the experiences between Kenya and the States, yeah?
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm willing to share.
So FRIDA, tell us, how did you get to go to the States?
I actually left Kenya with a mission to go and do my undergraduate degree in information systems. And so I just ended up applying to a school and they sent me the I-20. That's basically like a acceptance letter that a school gives you. You take that to the embassy, you go through the process, and you go for the interview, then you get your visa, then now you fly out and go. So it was just pretty straightforward, and I thank God for that. But yeah, so that was my experience.
So how did you, when you get there, how did the people take you? Like when you got to the States, how did the people take you?
I had good and bad experiences. I had Kenyan people who are shit. Sorry to say that out loud, but yeah. Then there are actually black people who are also very nice, and they're black Americans, sorry, not just black, but they're also very ignorant in the sense where they would think, how do you speak English? Do you guys have, like, do you walk around safari? Like, do you see lions walking outside the house? Like, they assume the worst of Kenya. They don't think anything. Oh, when you see a Kenyan, before Obama became president, they used to think you're all Nigerian. So that's funny. Everyone just used to be like, oh, so you're Kenya. Oh, yeah, that's part of Nigeria. I'm like, no, it's not part of Nigeria. It's Kenya. But when Obama became president, they're like, oh, Kenya is now your place. Oh, so you're related to Obama. Now it became that. So, but yeah, there's a lot of ignorance in the States. So if I would say, I think Kenya were more learned than even the people in the States.
What, you said something about Kenyans being shitty. What do you mean, like they're shitty?
They never want to see you progress. They are very jealous. They almost feel like you shouldn't have come there. Like, you should always be in Kenya, because they kind of feel like they have made it, so they don't want you there. They immediately feel the impact of you coming there. They just assume the worst of everything. They feel like maybe you'll come there and steal the spotlight or something, and maybe you've just met someone, or someone will leave you from Kenya and be like, oh, come stay with me. Then when you go there, they treat you badly. So it's just those small things that you don't ever expect, but they just happen.
So tell me the differences between, you're schooling there, right? So tell me the differences between the school over there and how they treat their students, and the difference like here in Kenya. Like, what did you see there that was a bit different?
Okay, the only thing is I sadly can't give any comparison to Kenya because I've never done any schooling in Kenya. Like, the only schooling I did was doing my SATs and TOEFL, which are mandatory to do when you're going to the States. So those are, the SATs are scholastic aptitude test, and TOEFL is like an English math test, basically. I don't even know what it all stands for, to be honest. But yeah, so I don't have a comparison, but I would definitely say the schooling there was good. Because even when you're working and going to school, because that's what I was doing, they respect everyone who goes to school. So if they know you have class at 3, they leave and release you at 2. They'll make sure that you have ample time to leave work and go to school. There's no two ways about it.
So 1 minute. So working, you've mentioned about working. So there you can actually work and go to school.
Yes, you can. I would say that people, it kind of depends on you also, because if your schedule is very tight, it's, you end up working fewer hours than another same that you'd work more hours. So it just depends on how you can accommodate it. But there it's very, very possible, because they also advocate for you to go to school and go to work.
So were you working to pay your tuition fee, school fee, Ama? What was the work?
I was just working also just because it was an age, and I just felt like just to also have your own money, because I've never been that person of, hey, mommy, like always on buying money. That thing is just, it's good to have your own money. So basically mine was working for that. And fortunately, all the jobs I ever had in the States were based on your grades. If you maintain these grades, and coming from Kenya, it's not hard to maintain those grades. You get those grades, they reimburse you the same. So when you pay that same, they give you back your money, you pay the next same. So you never lacked money to pay for the same. So my working was just for me to have my own money. Pay my bills, basically, yeah.
Oh, and another thing now, because you're working, definitely you're living there. So what is the difference? Do they even have ghettos in the States?
Yes, they do, and they're called the projects. They are so ghetto. They are actually like really bad. And I'm sure you guys even you can even Google them and just see them because they actually look terrible. The only thing that they don't have there, they don't have kibera. Like you'll see mabati houses or whatever, but they have real ghettos and they have rats as big as my head, like big. Like it's the pollution there, everything is, it's only that they don't have actual, they actually had paper bags whatever, but they just didn't have that pollution where you'd go like in the main, like if you go the way town before they got rid of the bags, you'd see everyone just throwing everything around, but there they never had that, so it was restricted to like maybe the ghetto places or whatever. But also you could also tell with when you're speaking to someone what part of that state they were from, even if they're not, they're particularly from just, let's say, Georgia, because that's where I lived. I would say that if someone who lived in ghetto Georgia, you'd know how they speak. Someone from uptown Georgia, how they speak. There's a different lingo. In Kenya, we don't have that. If you meet someone in Kibera, I mean, they'll have slang, but even you can talk slang even if you've been brought up in Westlands. So there's no really distinction on talking, yeah.
And infrastructure, how is it like the roads, everything, the buildings, how is it?
The roads are perfect. That's the one thing. And then they are very considerate on how when they are fixing the roads, they don't. There'll be inconveniences, yes, but they always make sure that everything's fast. The thing that most people, I think, know or don't know, all houses in the States are made of wood. No house is actually made of stone. You actually look at a house and think it's stone, but it's actually wood. So that's why houses there are built very quickly. So they have something that puts out, so it's like the way you get some paint that makes it look like you have stone on the wall or something. So the same way that they put that make it look like a stony house or whatever. Even just a house, even not even apartments, everything is made out of wood there.
So can I ask, is it the same here? Like if I want to look for a house in Kenya, I'll just go to an agency, I'll just go door from houses to look for a house. Is it the same thing? Does it work the same in the States?
To get a house, you'd when you go to any apartment complex and you're looking for a house, they always have a leasing office. So there are always people there employed. So it's like you're going to a main office and like any corporate office, and there's a reception. So they always have people who are there and they'll show you. They always have the showroom. They like a showroom for apartments that it's all been designed on how the house will eventually look like. So you always have that in every apartment complex you go to. So you kind of know what to expect. If you have these seats, how they'll fit. So every house you go to, you don't just go bluntly and see an empty room and be like guessing. And that's what I've seen a lot in Kenya. Like you go to a house, unless you're looking for a really fancy area, then you go and find a show house. Sorry, not showroom. Showroom is for cars. Show house. But yeah, but they're all apartments, houses. All of them have show houses. That's mandatory. Whatever area you're going to, whether your rent is expensive, cheap, they have a show house. So you always see what the place that you're going to, how things will accommodate, how the apartment will accommodate what you're bringing to the house.
And another thing, you see here, like if I'm getting into a house, I have to pay like deposit. Yes. and then now I'll just have to stay. Like there's no guarantee. Like if I'm employed, how is it in the States? Like,
they have housing actually that's based on your pay in the States. They have that. You can get a really fancy apartment, and if you're based on this pay, you can stay there. Make too much.
How do they know how much you get paid?
Oh, they use your social security number, which is like equivalent of our rate tax pin, 9-digit number that's there for life. So you can never disappear. No one can ever have it. But that number is your whole life in States. They'll know everything about you just based on that 9-digit number. Whether you have a bank account that you defaulted on, you ran away from a house, you got evicted, you fell back on your rent, you fell back on a car note, anything that you do, basically, social security number does everything.
Wait.
So that's how they determine even how you'll pay a deposit when you move to a place. It's not like Kenya where every place you go, it's always 1 month deposit. It's guaranteed. Whether umeishi all your life peke yako and you move somewhere, they won't assume that. No.
So does the social security number act like an ID, or is it something different from the ID card that we know?
The ID is very different. You still have an ID in the States, as in, and it's ID DL number. Like they have one number. It's not like you have many numbers. So it's just your DL number. So the only people who can get a DL maybe unless you have a driving under influence record that's there because it has to be there for 7 years. So by the time it gets out, you probably will be denied a DL. But everyone gets a DL. So just like our smart DL in Kenya, it looks like that exactly. So it's a small thing, but ours has DL and ID number. Those are two different numbers. Yes. But there it's one number and it's one digit. You always have that. So insurance for your car, like getting your tag, it'll be with you for life. Like here we're so obsessed with if you buy a KB, KCA, yes. KB, what, doesn't matter. Then you get it's a 6-digit number and you have it for life. So whatever car you get in, you just unscrew, move to the new car. Unscrew, move to the new car, like that. There's no, it doesn't change on anything.
The number plate doesn't change.
The same, maintained all through your whole. If you have 5 cars, you'll buy 5 different number plates. But whenever you change, you can never put the number plate that you have on car X on car Y. You can't. Number plate is just you cannot say I just want to use one. You have to return them to the government, as into the it's called the tax office or whatever. You have to tell them that you're returning that. But you can't just decide to just keep it and not. You have to tell them that you don't want that license anymore.
Okay. So what about the culture? Like, is it the same here? Like here, you see, we are so respectful to our older people. There's that mom and all that. How is it in the US? What did you see?
I think there is that aspect of being, that whole being a close-knit, like there's that respect part of it. But there's also like the way they act with their parents. Like I had a lot of Black American friends, so I would actually see them firsthand, and I'd noticed they don't talk to they don't talk to their moms the same way we out, even if they're not being disrespectful, but they're almost talking like that's their sister. And by the time you get to that point where you can talk to your mom like she's your sister, you have to go. It has to be like you have to be like really old. Even when you're 50, your parents still talk to you like you're a child. Yeah. So you still have that nini. So that's the only thing I'd notice. But otherwise, the culture there, everything, like they're very respectful to their nini. Even when you go to your mom's place, whatever, the way she treats you, and you always feel like you're part of them. They always treat you like they're also your child. And I've noticed that in Kenya is not really there. They still say that, yeah, that's your friend. But if they don't like that friend for whatever reason...
And then there's something I had. I don't know, like jaywalking. Like, what is jaywalking? No, that thing was weird because I was seeing some how's it called? I was seeing some movie and it's like, you jaywalked. I'm like, what the heck? What's that? Oh, okay. So today I have a guest by the name Tiffany.
Hey.
I'm happy. I can breathe in. I said, thank you below.
My name.
Zima, we start.